Yeah.
Today is 12th June 2024. I'm going to conduct your Oxford ELLT speaking mock session. My name is Mr. Rose. Could you please tell me what's your full name?
My name is Ali Talha, but you can call me Talha because my friends call me Talha.
And where are you from?
I am from Somalia, which is a small city of this Toba taxi in the province of Punjab.
All right. So, Mr. Ali, let me guide you regarding the rules regulation of ELLT. There are four parts. The very first one, an introduction. The second one is a presentation. The third one is essay, which you have done in your writing module. And the last one would be picture. So I will initiate with the first one. My first question from you is, what do you do in your free time?
Yeah, definitely. This is very important question. In my leisure time, my priority to playing a cricket with my friends. But after my remaining time, I start to read some history books because I really interest for history.
All right. Tell me, Mr. Ali, that why are you taking Oxford exam?
Yeah, I have applied the universities of the UK. This is the necessary condition for Department of English for every university to fulfill
Okay.
this requirement. That's why I give the.
Okay. And which university have you selected in the UK?
I select the University of Chester because this university offer my course mathematics, and the university have a rigorous academic standard and excellent cutting edge research facilities and a diverse student body. So that's why I select the University of Chester.
And what's your education?
My
Currently?
last education is currently my last MSc in mathematics. I completed 2020 in the University of Agriculture, Ashabad main campus.
All right, that is great. Now let's move to the second part. So could you please confirm your title of presentation?
The first one topic where I'm giving here two topics. First about the teaching, writing is more better for mathematics. This one?
Yes, like the one which was
Oh,
shared with you, like for speaking. Yes, I
yeah.
can. Advantages and disadvantages of teaching reading and writing before math. Yes, discuss both
Yeah.
sides of the issue and include your own opinion. So are you ready for that?
Yeah, ready.
Okay, let me remind you some of the rules you have to keep in your mind. Your presentation should be between 3 to 5 minutes, not less than 3 minutes, not more than 5 minutes. When you start, you should say, I will begin my presentation now. When you finish your presentation, you should say, this is the end of my presentation. Thank you for your attention. While you are presenting your topic, you have to look into the camera straight. If you are reading a prepared script, your band score will be affected. Is that clear?
Yeah, please tell me the last chance. The finish my presentation. Thank you for attention.
Yes.
Okay.
If you have points, if you have notes, you can pick up the points, but you cannot read them. You can start your presentation now by saying, I will begin my presentation now.
Okay. I will start to begin presentation. This topic is especially the students, the children about before studying the mathematics. So it is more important for the students. Initially, he can teaching about writing and reading. I think a lot of advantages before seeking a mathematics because I think it is really important for every children because I have already a teacher in a mathematics. I teach a lot of students from a matric or intermediate student. So the biggest problem that that I can see in the every students, initially the primary level of the student, the every teachers and every institution should not pay the attention for the every student about their writing. This is the most biggest factor for the every student before if you can see that when the students move from primary to middle level the writing is a very bad because you know that when you can write for the giving for the examiner if your examiner could not understand what you can write so your all effort will be a destroy And the second thing, before studying, before teaching the tools of mathematics, is more important to focus the reading, because when the children are very fond of the reading, it a lot of benefits for their life, because it interest has been increased for in the studies, and it helpful to increase their vocabulary, and a lot of helpful for their English grammarly in the tenses, and that's why they have a lot of advantages before learning mathematics. And after, they have some disadvantages if you can learn teach writing and reading before mathematics, because if you can totally stress the students for the children for the primary level or intermediate level, have a lot of difference in between student. You cannot force every student initially learning about the mathematics, because I think mathematics is not an easy module. Every student faces a trouble, because if you can say a simple mathematics, you have know that subtraction and additions uh, for the initial level of the every child. But we can go from a fifth to a eighth class. The every child should be learn a simple type of mathematics. This is called algebra, and this have a 3 to 4 functions like addition, subtraction, multiplication, and dividations. So that's why they have a student face a lot of difficulty, a lot of troubles, if you could not understand the initially writing and reading, then have a face from their actual life problem for their future careers about intermediate level, and then after your further study. So that's why I finish my presentation. So thank you for your attention.
Okay, that is great, Mr. ID. Now let's move to the third part, and that is the essay. So could you please confirm the title of your essay?
Yeah, the title of my essay, countries museum should be designed the some culture or countries, discuss the both meanings, and give my opinion.
Okay. So could you please summarize your essay?
Yeah, I summarize this essay by the simple tense. I think every thing should be placed their original place. We summarize, I will conclude this topic of my essay for the my all writing. There are some artifacts and some objects that should be placed their original place where they can be obtained. And because they have some specific connection with the some communities and some ancient civilization culture of the some countries, some communities or the people.
Okay, that is great. That's fine. So let me ask you a few questions about your essay. In the second paragraph, uh, line first, you said that proponents argue that displaying objects of history from different cultures can serve as a way of culture exchange. What is the meaning of culture exchange?
Yeah, really important question. Proponents mean the support of the first people that have a strongly belief that uh, different objects should be placed in the museum, because when the I give the example of my country. If you go in the museum, you can see that the great leader of my country, the first Prime Minister of Pakistan, Qaid Muhammad Ali Jinnah. You can see that their cab is a present in the Lahore Museum. They have a great importance and a significance for my peoples and for my country. There will be a no importance for the Americans and the British people. So that's why I have a cultural exchange means you can when you can go from this museum, you can see that some things that will be belongs from the British people, and some you can see that belongs to Hindu communities, and some things that we belong to Americans. So that's why they have a meaning of this line.
All right. And another line you have said, different intuitions and students of different backgrounds receive valuable insights that help them envision history outside of textbooks. Would you please, discuss this sentence?
Yeah. This is really the second paragraph, in my opinion, for this purposes. You can see in a museum a lot of different type of cultures in your museum. You can see that. But a lot of institutions have a different students' backgrounds. When you go from the museum, they can seek precocious items in the museum that can easily help to disclose the history of their textbooks. Because when he read the history, he reads of things which can be present in the museum, but actually when he can go from the museum but has something not have been present. So that's why this is a good way. When you go from the museum, you can see that to disclose our history books, which things are been recently present in our museum.
Okay, you have given an instance that the Rosetta Stone in the British Museum educates people about ancient civilization of Egypt. So, who is Rosetta Stone?
Yeah, the
What is
Rosetta Stone
that
is a
thing?
really the Rosetta Stone is a really important for the British people because the people educates by themselves by the ancient civilization of the Europe. I read some history of the Sina Stone that was really important for the British people because it script a small pictures that will be made. It will be used by the ancient time by the religious texts, and after the Napoleon's defect, the great Alexander that took this store in 1801. And after 1802, it will be represented in the British Museum.
All right. In another place, you have said that history reveals that most of these artifacts were earned through colonial exploitation and historical injustice. What do you mean by colonial exploitation and historical injustice?
Yeah, first of all, the second point of view of the people, they have a strongly believe that what are the artifacts? And artifacts are the vital information of the people of the culture, where they can live or where they can use. It may be linked by a political, economical, and a linguistic. So, and what is a colonial explanation means they have a strong matches, they have a taking advantages like I'll give the example. Yani, it means if you can say that the historical injustice, like they have some wrong decision in the past, but at the present time, the people should be face their consequences. Like I give the example for this essay, the Bannan Bros were returned to Nigeria, the Western country, to address some such injustice. What is banner broses? I can explain for one point only a banner broses. In 2021, the survey that
Okay,
Jesse
that's
Stalin.
fine. That's fine.
Okay,
That's fine.
okay,
Okay,
thank you.
let me, okay, if you had more time, what would you write in this essay apart from the content? If you had more time to write something, what would you write about or regarding the topic? If you, so could you please tell me something about that?
If you give me a more time to about the addition for this some text for this essay. So
Mm.
it greatly my first priority to written about the heroes of their our past that will be fundamental role and that will represent our sisters and that can easily help to restore our culture and our civilizations. For that's really important for the people. So I will be definitely add for this topic our heroes.
Okay, another question. What was the most interesting point you wrote in this essay?
Yeah, the most interesting point in my point of view about the history of the Rosetta Stone that will be present in the British Museum because people educate themselves by their ancient civilization of Europe.
Okay, and what did you find the most challenging while you were writing this essay?
The most challenging point first initially when I see the topic context and the skip in my mind how I can write. Firstly, I required 4 to 5 minutes to make a plan which points I have write for this essay. the most critical point and the most problem that I face about the Bannon browsers, because they have a lot of things like sculptures and flags from the history of the African continent that will be returned from the British Museum.
Okay, that is fine. Thank you. Now let's move to the last part, and that is a picture. So I'll be showing you a picture.
Thank you.
Yes, what do you see in the picture?
Yeah, in this picture, I can see that the two person, male and a female, they are age for above 60. They have early in the morning the first priority to make their exercise, because the Europeans people and the Americans people, they have a strongly believe that early in the morning is a best for their exercise, is a best priority for their health.
All right. Another question from you regarding this picture. Do you often take exercise?
Yeah, definitely my first priority early morning, to go my friends to playing a cricket, and I also with my exercise.
So do you think that taking daily exercise could improve your health?
Yeah, definitely. If you can set your daily routine of life, because I think that every person have a life schedule is it's depend upon you. But I think if you can set in your daily routine early in the morning, to go in a ground, like some walk and some exercise and some playing a sports, then uh, it will be a more better for your health, and the whole day you will be walking as a fresh mind.
Okay, another question. Do especially aged people prefer to take early exercise in your country?
Yeah, definitely. In my country, when you go in a town, in my country town, they have a lot of people in the age of 60. They have in the you can see that in the corner of the river, they are going for as a morning walk, because they believe that it is a good for health.
Okay, that is fine. That's great. Thank you. Do you have any question from me regarding this picture?
Yeah, no, I have no any question.
All
But
right.
okay,
Yes. Okay, thank you so much. You will get your
thank
result
you,
within 48 hours. Thank you.
thank you.
Let me